I'm not gonna lie to y'all, one of my favorite videos out of the Copper Archives has to be Final Exam, even if it's short and very much chopped. But something that I noticed about this video is my neck work. Look at this horrendousness. Hey, real quick, for those of y'all that are new, I sometimes take the first couple of seconds of a vid to say whatever about whatever, then we get straight to the video. So expect more pre-game skits like that in the future. Now let's get into it. As of the past couple of years, Sonic has finally been getting his long-deserved dubs in life. With great movies, greater games, and beating Mario on IGN reviews as of recently, the Sonic community is eating good. It seems like things could finally look up for the series after a decade of getting straight dunked on. But there was something that was forever looming in my head, and that was why it took so long for Sega to get their Golden Boy into a gold light once again, and why everyone who liked this franchise got clowned on. If you're old enough to remember when this song was bumping everywhere, you may remember what times were different for this dude. Hell, I do clearly, but we'll get into that. After having such a big switch around, I was left with so many unanswered questions. Then in June of 2024, Chillwave dropped a video titled How 2010's YouTube Destroyed Sonic, and I won't lie, man, this thing was a godsend. This one singular man with some guest stars came to this platform on a random summer day and decided to drop knowledge that may have taken me genuine years to figure out. Childhoods and an entire decade right then and there were explained within the span of less than 20 minutes. It was as if the silver scrolls of time were laid out in front of me, and the best part was that it all clicked and made a lot of sense. For those who haven't watched the video, I encourage you to, after this, I'll leave a link in the description, but I'll give you a quick rundown. When game reviews on YouTube became popular at the start of this decade, everyone decided it was time to justly dunk on Sonic 06. These criticisms were brutal, but it ended up getting so out of hand that some of the best Sonic games were ridiculed as a sort of internet culture. It was as if the entirety of what Sonic was meant to be was just thrown to the wayside, and everyone wanted to get their licks in on a series that was still trying to get back up. This would last for years, and anyone that enjoyed the series had to hide their face and swallow their pride, because if IGN is talking, you might as well call it quits. The amount of hate I had for this crew was immeasurable, bro, even after this guy apologized. Along with himself, other people agreed that this was perhaps the worst era to be a Sonic fan throughout his entire history. And I would know, because I lived through this garbage too, and it was hell. Sonic the Hedgehog has had a huge impact on my life, for better or for worse, and for me, it started with perhaps the best game to start a kid off with, Sonic Generations. Before COVID was rolling around the corner, I was beginning to learn fast that there was more behind the franchise than just a fast road and a fat man, thanks to that game. And during COVID, I would really start diving in, finishing other Sonic mainline games that I had, except for Sonic 3. I even bought Adventure 1 on my PS3 and played through the entire game. Hell, what you know about eating your lunch and listening to the Sonic show back before Frontiers came out? This was peak television back during COVID. Coming into 8th grade, back to in-school learning, I had knowledge on music, a bit of the lore, what games were out there that I still need to get a hold of. On top of that, I have learned a lot from the games morally, especially from Sonic and Tails and the Adventures series, and I wasn't afraid to show it either coming into the new school year. I mean, who wouldn't want to know that I like something as cool as Sonic? That was my first mistake. You see, the franchise was still in a bad place as a whole in 2021, with the only two things to the name that were outstanding in most people's eyes were Sonic Mania and the Sonic movie, with the announcement of the second one coming the year after. Frontiers and Origins were just announced in May, but that wasn't enough for everyone to stop and look. Needless to say, Sonic wasn't out of hot water just yet. Sure, it was promising, but for all everyone knew, these two games could have been complete flops. Did I care though? Hell no. But to quite literally everyone else, Sonic was still a meme and a half, and because my social skills were still relatively doo-doo, best believe Sonic was the most frequent thing I fell back on. Don't get me wrong, I knew of other things, but I wasn't up to date on damn near anything. I soon gained the title Sonic Kid, oh lord, which I didn't find too much of a problem with until I started getting made fun of for it. From what my little naive ass brain gathered at the time, most of my peers didn't like the franchise, or just weren't as diehard as I was at the time. Rarely anyone had a genuine opinion about the franchise because of the internet culture surrounding it, and I couldn't get one out of people to save my life. So I had a solution. Convergent. I was dead set in showing people why it was cool. And for split seconds, especially with the music, people found it appealing until they found out that it was something from Sonic. It was like there was some type of programming in their head to say they just shouldn't or couldn't like it, no matter how good it was. Now, I will admit, I was a bit over the top some days. I would get a little passionate. My punishment, thinking about those moments out of nowhere and cringing for the rest of my life. I won't lie, this is probably just gonna be the hardest video yet to write up and record just off the cringe factor ringing in my head. Other than the music, however, everything else was straight up dunked upon. And kids started to exploit that passion as kids do. Sometimes they would play Sonic songs just to get a reaction out of me, then a laugh, calling it a mating call. They asked over the top and sometimes inappropriate questions about the characters and franchise as if I was that down low. And if I had $1 for every time someone asked me a sexual question about a female Sonic character back then, I had my own PC by now, I'm telling you. Hell, even my Sonic plushie got tossed around one time and was stolen another time. I obviously freaked the hell out every time someone tried to get their hands on it because these were the same kids that would bring some of theirs too, but they would make their Red Among Us and Kirby plushies do the splinky oiky. I will not be drawing that. It got to be too much, to the point where I was actively getting pissed in class and having to step outside and just sit for a second. With this and also some other mannerisms I had, this caught the attention of teachers and staff there. They wanted to put me on some sort of medication or be put in some special classes because of how other kids receive me and also said mannerisms. Whoa. Time out. You mean to tell me that kids can get away with asking me special pass questions for Sonic characters at 13 to 14 years of age and it could be overlooked, but I'm the one getting put on meds? Well, yeah. That's basically how that went. And they almost acted upon it despite my parents and one of my goated teachers saying, do not. But that's a story for another time. By the end of the year, I was damn near in shambles because I became so self-conscious about what I was doing. Now, in a sense, it was a good teaching experience. No, I'm kidding, it wasn't. No. I will say it was a good teaching experience because in a way it taught me to not wear too much on my sleeve. What I did hate was the growing pains from it in freshman year. When I finally realized I was being taken for a dumbass, I was very closed off to everyone. Thank Kami for my boys Kaz and Coop. They honestly held me down for that entire year. But I was straight scrambling to find other interests during that time, including things like FNAF, Cuphead, and even Dragon Ball making a return and never leaving. And once Sonic started growing again, I liked how there was so much content from the community to chew on, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. Just seeing people in public liking it had me like this. I know, should have enjoyed it and not have judged the same way others did, but I would be lying if I said I didn't have a bit of a salty face. I had worked all this time to push the franchise away as best as I could, but for some reason, it never truly left. And honestly, I'm glad that it didn't because I would be missing out right now. I believe that the three most prominent things that stuck with me are the mannerisms, music, and art. I have always appreciated how all of Sonic's cares go into everyone but himself. Frontiers did an amazing job highlighting this, by the way. And with music, if it sticks, it sticks, and Collision Chaos was never going away. As for art, perhaps one of the most telling things is how I draw myself. If you look closely at how I draw my face, you'll notice that the face takes inspiration from the blue blur, especially in the eye. I feel like now that the dust has sort of settled, I can finally proudly say that I'm on good terms with the franchise again, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it next. But I won't lie, Sonic 06 is Hey, welcome to the end of the video. This topic was honestly something that I never thought I'd talk about so soon until that Chalmix video dropped. Half because I need to do some research on it first, but half because I didn't think I'd be able to handle going through the timeline of garbage. But this video's out, you're obviously seeing it, and you made it to the end, so we ball. I hope you guys like the pink do-rag. We reppin' BCA. Honestly debating on whether or not to do it this early, instead of, just leaving it blue to make it easier on myself. But A, I like the color pink regardless, and B, why not? I've been getting a lot of good feedback from the first video, which currently has somewhere around, 30 views. Go on, Waters, we'd like to see it. I'm just glad that I can get back to making videos in the first place and actually put some, some soul into them, some seasoning, just like this one. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe, spin dash that like button, share this video like a bag of chips, and hit that bell. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Copper out.